Hey everybody, my name is Joe Bladek and I'm a mortgage broker and I'm really excited to be here with you today. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be talking about upsizing, how it's done, how much it costs, and hopefully give you a lot of good information about that. Today, we're joined with Mary Ralston. Mary Ralston is a real estate agent. She's part of Remax Twin City down in Waterloo, Kitchener, Cambridge area. And I've actually known Mary for quite a few years now. We've worked together on a number of clients, and she's been in the Barrie, Simcoe region for a number of years, but originally from born and raised in Waterloo, Cambridge, Kitchener area. So she actually knows both markets really well and has helped our clients in both of those markets do really well in real estate. So Mary, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate having you here today and looking forward to chatting about upsizing today with you.
Well, I'm excited to be here today too, Joe. And I want to introduce you to everyone. This is Joe Bladek. As he said, he's a mortgage broker with Mega Mortgage. He's been with Mega Mortgage since 2013. And he's been a mortgage broker for 10 years or more, about that, right?
Yeah.
And not only has Joe helped many of my clients get their dream home, he also helped me with my mortgage a few years ago. And it was a really wonderful experience. So I'm excited to talk about upsizing today. It's one of my favorite things to do with people. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mary, for those kind words. And I get really excited about upsizing, especially in this market, because the rates for mortgages are at record lows. So what I'll do is in our talk today, Mary, I would like to just share with everyone that even though the house prices have gone up considerably, it makes financial sense and exactly how it does make financial sense. I think having numbers in front of you really empowers you to make a great decision, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's right now it's all about the numbers, and the numbers work out really well, even though housing prices to the average person seem like they're crazy right now. Um, People who have bought in the past have been able to upsize, which is really great, and it doesn't cost them a ton of money.
Mhm.
So, so I really want to hear the numbers and hear what's going on from your end.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get started then. And I'll just show you here exactly how much it's going to cost to upsize in today's market. And hopefully this will help you get into that home. And then from there, Mary can talk about the process and show you just how simple it is working with an agent like Mary to get that done. So with upsizing, what I want to do is show you a typical example that we're seeing. And in this case, it's Jill and John. They purchased their home 2 years ago, February 2019. So they bought for 550,000, which Mary, I think was an average price about 2 years ago at this point.
Yep,
And
that's right.
yeah, I mean, having average prices at that point, I wish I could go back in time at this point in time to buy maybe two or three houses. But, you know, here we are. And taking a mortgage in 2019, in February, we would have had a rate around 3.64, which was a good rate at the time. And I remember people calling in saying, rates are going up. Can we lock in at this rate? Which would give you a mortgage payment of $2,229.43 a month. So this same family now has their home worth approximately $760,000. And the mortgage remaining is only $412,851.73. So there's a lot of equity there. When you say, Mary, that is accumulated there for this client, and now they
Yeah,
have the ability.
there's a lot of equity there. Those are really good numbers for upsizing.
Really good numbers for upsizing. And this combined with low rates, we've seen people doing this example over and over again. So Mary comes along, she can sell your home for $760,000 or perhaps more, because of, as we've been talking about, Mary, there's certain markets that are selling over lists. Certain markets are hotter than others. But say we sell for 760,000. After we minus off things like the mortgage penalty to get the better rates, the existing mortgage, legal fees, and all that, we are left with $296,708.27. So it's a lot of cash. And this you can use either to sell your home and go retire to Costa Rica for a couple of years, or you can put that right back into your dream home. And that's where, Mary, you're going to come in and really show them what options are available out there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And then when they find their dream home, they're going to see, okay, how is this going to work? Well, with that cash on hand, they'll be able to get pre-approved for a mortgage of $900,000. And why is that? Because now they have a large down payment of $270,000, along with all their closing costs, land transfer taxes, and legal fees, leaving them with a mortgage of $630,000. That might
That's
seem
pretty
like,
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. And that might seem like a really large mortgage in comparison to their previous mortgage, because Jill and John did have a mortgage of about $417,000 left. But a lot of people don't understand, and I hope they can realize through this video, that having a larger mortgage with a lower interest rate actually keeps the payments lower, and sometimes close to what you're paying now for that smaller mortgage at a higher interest rate. So looking at the payments, we're looking at $2,276.34 a month, or $1,050 with 62 cents, not accelerated bi-weekly. And I don't know, I think this was a pretty similar payment to what we just saw when Jill and John bought in February 2 years ago at the higher rate. So right away, we can see how much upsizing is going to cost us, not very much. And because of the lower rates, you can take advantage of keeping the payments low. So when we look at exactly how much is left over after you buy your home, you'll have about $9,733.27 left, which is enough to put in a hot tub. And I don't know about you, Mary, but I love hot tubs.
I love hot tubs too. I have
Yeah.
one and it's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's great. Do you use your hot tub all year long or just in the summer?
No, I use it all year long. Winter is the best time to be in a hot tub, as far as I'm concerned.
Amazing. That's great to hear. So having a hot tub and a new home, how much is this going to cost you extra per month? Well, after we look at the old mortgage payment and the new mortgage payment, and we include all the fees to move you over, including the mortgage penalties and all that, only an extra $46.91 per month. And I think that is pretty good. I don't know when else in history I've seen being able to upsize for less than $50 a month. What do you think, Mary?
That's pretty amazing, because they could get a home for $900,000 from a smaller home that they had for only $46.91 extra a month.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
It really is. And just seeing this makes me want to upsize all over again. But
I know, me too.
yeah, but we're here to help everybody. And what we're going to do is hopefully now that you've seen the numbers, and if you're looking to find out exactly how this works, in a moment I'm going to pass it off to Mary so she can talk about the process and what's involved with getting ready for this big moment in your life. But as you are watching this video, remember, if you want to connect with Mary or myself, fill out the contact information fields below, and we'll get in touch with you. We'll start you for your pre-approval. We'll show you exactly what needs to be done on the financial side to get you ready. And as you work through the process, Mary then will take it over from that point on. So Mary, how does it work now that Jill and John are pre-approved for 900,000? They're ready to roll. We understand how much they can afford. How do you help them from this point forward?
Well, basically what I do is I'm going to give you some steps to go through for the process. So the first step is you want to get in touch with a lender like Joe. So if you were to get in touch with me first and talk to me about what your plans are for selling and buying a new home, then I'm going to put you in touch with Joe first, because the most important thing is to get pre-approved. And a lot of people think, why do I need to get pre-approved? I've already bought a house. Well, you have to get pre-approved so you know how much you can buy your next house for. So what I do is I'll work through the numbers of what I can get for your existing house, and I'll help you get your home ready to sell. And we'll talk about the best price to market your house at for a list price, and what you can expect to get for your house. So after we do that, we get your house ready. And I always recommend that you sell your house first before you're going to buy a house, because in this market, it's very competitive. And you can go through a lot of disappointments if you can't put a firm offer in on the house that you want to buy. So it's always best to sell and then buy. It doesn't mean that you can't look, because we're going to do a lot of searching while your house is up for sale, but sell then buy. That's important too.
Sell then buy. Okay.
Yeah. So you want to get in touch with your lender and make sure you know where your mortgage is at. And I always suggest that you talk to them about the balance of your mortgage and whether your mortgage is transferable, if you're going to have any penalties. Like, those are things that you want to consider. So once you know all of that, then that's when we go through the process of listing your house, getting it ready. I bring a stager in, and we make sure it looks really pretty, so it's very showable, and it's going to sell really fast. So, because that's the way the market is right now. So the other thing that you want to do after you get your pre-approval done, we've talked about listing your house. You also want to consider what your budget is. So that's where, when you've already talked to your lender, that they've given you the pre-approval. And so like Joe will give you a pre-approval, and then you know how much you can spend on your next house. And like Joe went through in his scenario, a lot of the time, what's happening is you have so much equity in your house that your mortgage on your new house isn't going to be that much more, which is really, really great right now. So the other thing you want to do is make sure that you consider your budget, which Joe kind of already went through, because you're going to have land transfer taxes to pay. Because if you were a first-time home buyer, when you bought your house before, you probably didn't have to pay land transfer tax. So that's something you want to consider. when you're buying. And you want to make sure you're working with an experienced realtor. So someone like me,
Yes.
I have 10 years of experience in real estate. And so I'm pretty familiar with what's going on in the market. If you don't have an experienced realtor, it can cost you money, because if you're not working with the right realtor, they're not going to make sure your house is ready to sell. They may not bring a stager in, because different realtors have different styles.
Mm-hmm.
So my style is I work with you to make sure everything is ready, and I work with you from start to finish and beyond that. That is really, really important. Now, if you get in touch with me and you feel that I'm not the right fit for you, and because it can happen, maybe we just have different personalities, then I'm happy to refer you to another realtor for that, and I have no problem with that. So once we go through that, so you've already been in touch with someone like Joe, and we've gotten your house prepped to sell. Then we're going to create what I call a wish list. So what I like everyone to do that works with me is, you tell me what you're looking for and I'll find it for you. And so we're going to have a price criteria to look at, because there's a minimum and a maximum that we're going to work with. And from there, I want to know what kind of house you want. Do you want maybe a double car garage, or do you want, because if you're upsizing, your house is probably too small for what your needs are with your family. So do you want to have 4 bedrooms? Do you want to have 3 bedrooms? Do you want to have a big lot? Those are different things that we talk about. Do you want to have a pool? Working at home is pretty popular right now with COVID going on. So you may need more space in your new home for both of you working at home. So those are things that we talk about. So it's really, really important that you communicate with myself to make sure I can find what you're looking for.
Excellent.
And other than that, like that's pretty much it. Once we get into looking at buying, then I'm gonna send you some listings, and that's the fun part. It's always fun shopping for a new house.
It is.
And I think it's fun for me too, because I get to help you find it.
Yeah, and you get to be part of the experience. And I remember every time I've shopped for a house, it's always a fun experience, and having an agent just kind of share with that, it's really good to have.
Yeah. So if you want to get in touch with me,
Yeah.
I have 2 numbers that you can contact me with, and it'll show up on the screen at some point. So my Waterloo number is 226-218-6574. My Barrie number, because I still do business in Barrie, is 705-791-0131.
That's great.
So that's
And
the best way to get in touch with me.
yeah, so you've been working both markets and very diligently there, Mary. And you know both markets really well, because not only have you lived in the Barrie area for a number of years, but you also grew up in Kitchener-Waterloo area, which has made you very familiar with both markets. And it's almost like you're local, but in 2 different markets.
Yeah, I'm like local in Barrie because I lived there for, I think, 25 years.
Yes.
And I'm local here because I grew up here.
Yes.
So it's kind of fun.
That's great. So thanks very much for that rundown. And it seems like it's a really fun experience to upsize. You get to have a wish list. You get to kind of pick out what you need, and it seems like going through the whole process on your end, as a buyer of a house, I would feel very comfortable knowing that my agent has an idea of what I want and what I'm looking for and what's a priority to me. So knowing that, I'm sure that all you viewers out there are watching, you probably think the same way. Wow, I can actually put together a wish list, and an agent will actually look for those specific things, will marry you well, and she will help you find that. She's worked with numerous clients, and has everyone has been satisfied that I've talked to since then. So that is so good. In the meantime, if you're looking to get in touch with myself, as I mentioned, I'm Joe Bladek, and our numbers should be underneath us on the screen. And fill out the information below, or my line is 705-238-3479. You can call, you can text, as well as you can email us at joe@joebladek.com, or visit my website at joebladek.com, and we'll help you get started that way. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Mary, thanks for talking about upsizing and how that all works.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It was
Yeah.
it was great.
It was
It
great.
was great to hear things from the mortgage side too. Makes
Yeah.
everything sound so much easier when you know what's going on.
It does, yes. And rates are still at record lows. They have gone up slight amount since the new year, but it's only gone from the record low to super low. And that shouldn't scare anyone off. Rates are still really good, and it gives you and everybody a great opportunity and a chance now to upsize for less than $50 a month, really, the way we've calculated it. So hope you guys all have a great day, and talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.